Rod Vachon Holdings presents Real Boxing with elite level trainer Ronnie Shields.
Guys, welcome. Happy Tuesday to everybody. And as much as I love the new intro that features, Rod Vachon Holdings, our newest and dearest sponsor. Guys, if you're in the market for a new house in South Texas, please decide to work with the best. Rod Vachon Holdings. As much as I love the new intro, gosh, I can't get quite used to it without the, beautiful bass line of El DeBarge. But nonetheless, we're going to be visiting today. If it's Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, we're visiting with elite level trainer, the incomparable Coach Ronnie Shields. Ronnie, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm great.
Well, I tell you what, guys, and to help me, solve my connectivity issues today, we're being joined by, boxing analyst supreme, the incomparable Rodney Green. Rodney, welcome to the show, sir.
Yes, sir. Feels good to be here, like old Tom's sake. And it's going to be a great show, man. We got a nice selection of fact, of fiction. And, man, I can't wait to get started, man. So I'm glad to be here, gentlemen. I really am.
Yeah, I tell you what, guys. You know what, Rodney, we're happy to have you, brother. And you know what? Let's talk to Coach Ronnie about, what he did this past weekend.
Right.
Coach, I tell you what. You were 2-0 on Saturday night at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, Nevada, and kicking off your first outing with this gentleman, White Magic, Vito Mielnicki Jr., who scored a sensational first round knockout, just knocking Alexis Flores or Salazar down thrice. So tell us, what does the future hold for White Magic, and how's it been working with him up to this point, sir?
Man, it was so great working with this kid. For a 21-year-old kid, man, he has the mind of a seasoned professional fighter. I couldn't believe the way this kid work ethic is in the gym and even outside of the gym. This kid is always doing things, man. His father would call me and say, "Hey, man, you got to call him and talk to him. You need to slow down a little bit. He's doing too much." So I sit him down, explain things to him. He gets it, but he just loves to work, man. He wants to be the best. And he really, really, he gave Jermall Charlo some of the best rounds I've ever seen Jermall have in the gym.
Iron sharpens iron.
And, and they sparred well over 100 rounds.
Wow.
For this camp, and it was really good for both guys, and
obviously,
but I'm so proud of this kid because he did everything that I asked him to do, and I worked with him a lot on defense for this fight. And, cause just going back and watching some of his fights, I see where sometimes people get hit with the left hook, and this is why the opponent kept throwing the left hook at him, and he caught it every time. He caught him and he fired back, and he even dropped the guy with a jab, and that was a great thing. I love to see that because when you work on something in the gym, you like to see it, you like to definitely see it in the fight, and he did that. And, but I got to say one thing, in the center of the ring before the fight started, when the referee called us up to, give us the final instructions, I don't know if you could hear it or not, but the guy was talking so much trash to Vito.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, right up. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this guy, I'm gonna knock you the F out, blah, blah, blah. I mean, and I'm like, wow, where this come from? This dude.
Yeah.
But it just went through one ear and out the other for Vito. He just kept his composure. And that's something that, that's an old trick They try to do the young fighters, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But Vito didn't let it get to him. You know, he just stuck to what, you know, the game plan was. You know, that this guy comes swinging and just counter everything and, you know, use the jab, set everything up. And when he knocked him out with the jab, and then he came back and caught him with that big right hand, I said, oh, yeah, this is going to be easy.
Wow. I tell you what, congratulations to both Vito and I tell you what, you know, Coach, I have to say this. Now, how this has to be a real treat for you, right? Because how much more important is it to have that astute, disciplined work ethic than just natural talent in this game?
Oh, man, that's at the top of the list, you know, for sure. you know, look, it takes a lot of work. You know, I mean, you have some guys that's naturally talented that don't have to work as hard. But this kid, he's very talented and he works hard. So, you know, you kill two birds with one stone with that kind of work ethic, you know. And I'm just so happy, man. And you know, I mean, the kid, man, he's just an unbelievable fighter, and you know, and he's an unbelievable person.
Oh, that's great to hear. That's great to hear, Coach. Now, when I spoke to you immediately following, well, I'm not going to do my Pat Summerall voice right there, but immediately following the fight, you said, well, you know what? This kid's going to be a world champion at 154 and 160 pounds. Do you still feel that same way a couple days after, removed from the fight?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, and you know, the thing about it is his opponent. You know, he's fought some good tough guys and went the distance with him. So that just shows you right there that Vito, he belongs. He belongs with guys like this. You know, and you know, as you saw Freddie Roach in the corner with the other guy, you know, that shows you that this isn't somebody that just walked off the street. This is this is a really, really tough opponent that Vito took care of early.
Yep, and there it is, guys, and there it is. Congratulations to Coach Ronnie on his newest protege and future world champion in the mind of the coach. Yeah, Vito Mielnicki Jr., White Magic, who makes a huge Ronnie Shields debut on at the Mandalay Bay this past weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada, dispatching of the overmatched Alexis Salazar. And you're right, 25-5, and boy, he's fought some tough guys going the distance with him. But let's take a look at your WBC middleweight champion currently. The return after a 2.5-year absence from the ring, the return of the hitman, Jermall Charlo, in, well, pitching a virtual shutout over Jose Benavidez Jr. Coach, what were your thoughts going into this? And did you have any questions regarding the hitman? And did he answer all of them with the performance over Jose Benavidez Jr.?
You know, I've been with Jermall since he turned pro, which was at 18 years old. And I've been with him for that long. So I know everything about him. I know, you know, how he feels when he gets in there. You know, I mean, I can basically tell, you know, everything about him. But, you know, this is probably the first fight I've ever trained a guy for that I was happy that he went the distance. You know, normally, you know, I'm hoping that we would get him out there early. But just because he's been out for so long, you know, he needed the rounds. He needed the work, you know. And I tell you, man, you know, I've been watching Jose for a while now since they signed this fight. And the kid is really tough. You know, he's a really tough fighter. And, you know, you can't take anything away from him. But I was just so happy that Jermall was able to get off, you know, on some of his shots. And Jose took him. And, you know, and Jermall was just able to go to 10 rounds. You know, he really needed that more than he needed a knockout.
Hey, Ronnie, real quick, man. I just want to ask you something. As I was watching and observing the fight, I was somewhat surprised, man. Jermall looked real fluid Saturday night. Did you notice that early in the training camp? That look, man, he doesn't really appear to have a lot of ring rust, or that was something that y'all worked through just throughout training camp.
Yeah, it was something that we went through, and I told him he was a little nervous,
Okay.
for the very first time. He was nervous because he hadn't been in the ring in 2.5 years, and he called me aside, just him and I talked. He said, "Man, I'm a little nervous." I said, "I understand." I said, "But just get out there and do what you know how to do. Just get what the thing that we worked on, and I just say control the fight with the jab." You know, Let me tell you something. Jermall Charlo has the best jab in the sport.
Wow.
He
Mm-hmm.
really, really, truly do.
Sledgehammer.
And he worked up and down with it,
He
which
did a
is
good
really
job
good.
with that. He did.
Yeah,
He went to the stomach, the pit of the
yep,
stomach a lot, man.
absolutely.
He looked
And
he looked really
he
composed
go
out
ahead.
there. And that's why I gave you your flowers, because I was a little bit harsh on him and I didn't know what to expect. And again, man, he exceeded my expectations. And I think, for a comeback fight, being off for 2 years, y'all had an excellent training camp. But now it shows why, because he had a good sparring partner. He
Yep,
had a good sparring partner, and I think it showed Saturday night.
yes, absolutely, it did. And I told him, I was just trying to encourage him in between rounds too. Just tell him, hey, just stick to what you're doing. I like everything I see. I'm not gonna tell you anything more than what you're doing. Just control the fight with the jab. Every now and then when you get a chance to mix something up with him, go ahead and mix it with him. And he did that. And it was a good thing because Jose, sometimes when Jamal was on the rope, Jose just start just tearing off punches, which is good because that made Maul want to do it too.
Yeah.
So then Jamal would come back and do the same thing to mock him, you know, and he felt good doing it, and that's why I felt comfortable, man. I really did. I felt comfortable, and I didn't, going into the fight though, I was a little nervous about how he was going to come out because our plan was not to even worry about the first 2 rounds. I told him, I said, just don't worry about the first 2 rounds. Just go with the flow the first 2 rounds. I said, try to control it as much as you can with the jab. And he came out and he did that. And, at the end of the first round, he hurt Jose with a right hand. And I was like, oh no, that's not good, because if he'd have knocked him out, then, you know, I wouldn't be able to see I wouldn't be able to see anything else. And
Mm-hmm.
but like I said, Jose is tough, man. He talked a lot of trash. He did all of that, and but he came to fight, and that's the most important thing, and that was the best thing that could have happened for Jamal.
And there it is, and afterwards, he was at the final presser, right? He was at the post fight presser, and well, he seemed to be, Coach. Correct me if I'm wrong. He seemed to be a little, well, not perturbed, but just a little bewildered that, yeah, his brother wasn't there to root him on. What kind of effect did that have on him during the fight, before the fight, and after the fight? That Jermall wasn't there to join in the festivities.
Well, I don't get to talk. I don't talk about about their relationship, and he was disappointed, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just leave it at that. But
Hey,
Yeah.
I didn't go to the post fight press conference because I had a flight to catch. So
yeah,
I didn't I was on the way to the airport by the
yeah.
time they was doing that.
But even with that, Ronnie, as I watched the post fight press conference, it seems, man, Jamal has matured. He doesn't really engage and go overboard with a lot of trash talk. He seems to have a little bit more self-control. Do you think that's just came with the time, him being away, or is that just coming with more experience, more life experiences with it, or with his age? but that was very noticeable to me, and that spoke volumes. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think what it is that he got his family back together.
Mm.
You
Okay.
know, and I think that was the most important thing. He want him and his wife, they back together. The kids, he had the kids, and but when the wife came back, and they're so happy together now.
Okay.
And that contributed to everything you saw on Saturday night.
Mm.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah,
Good
I
stuff.
will say this too. It almost seemed like Jermall, for the first time in his career, was booed, and he seemed to really handle it like a
He
champ
did.
with great maturity.
He did.
Did you guys talk about that at all?
Oh no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
We, I just let it. Sometimes you just have to let things flow. You know,
Yep.
he knew he knew that Benavidez, you know, they was gonna have the crowd. He knew that when going
Hmm.
in, you know, and he told me, he said, I'm not gonna let any of that bother me. I'm just gonna stick to what we've been doing. And I told him that's the best thing he could do.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, and it was a good thing though. It was a really good thing. And I want to say that, after the fight, Jose Jr. came in the back, and talked to Jermall, and I really like to see that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fighters not have
Yeah.
any animosity toward anything. And he came and, he told Jamal, hey man, it was a great fight. You know, I'm sorry about all the stuff that I said before. I was trying to get under his skin, blah, blah, blah. But, and Jamal said, look, man, I understand, this is boxing, this is what we do. And he said, I got nothing, no ill will against you either, man. He said, I love you and your brother. And, it was a great fight. So,
Good
and
stuff,
it
man.
was really good, man. And
Yeah.
everybody, because they came to our dressing room, and we had about 20, 30 people in the dressing room, and everybody gave him a hand, clap, high five, and just tell them thank you, man. That was really, really good sportsmanship.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great to see. That's great to see. And guys, once again, uh, what we've been professing this entire time, and once again, you and I both, Ronnie, and Rodney as well, we've known the Benavidez family. First time we met him was on the undercard of, or in the weekend of Clottey versus Pacquiao, when he was just a prospect for top ranked boxing at 35. And this kid, he does this, and he thinks it seems to get, well, he gets the most of it. It seems to, in his mind, help him to have that chip on his shoulder, to create that bad blood when there really isn't anything there.
Right.
So he's doing this for himself. He meant nothing by it, but
No.
it just goes to show you guys, they're business partners at the end of the day.
Yeah.
This bad blood is for the benefit of them mentally, as well as the fans and the media in attendance. Right?
Yeah.
Ronnie, can you speak on that, please?
Yeah. I mean, you know, if anything, being a fighter, right? You have this thing inside of you, and all of the hard work, you're like, man, why am I doing this? And then you look across and you see why you're doing it, because it's the opponent that that you're really really angry at, because you're doing this because you're going to kick his butt. You know, that's simple as that. You know, but in the end, it's a business, and
Right.
and you have and you have to sell a fight
Yeah.
also. So, but I mean, look, it's a great thing, man, because at the end of it, you know, you congratulate each other because nobody got seriously injured,
Yeah.
and you know, look, and it's a business. Both guys got paid, and and they can feed their families.
That's what's up. Good
That's
stuff.
it. That's it.
Yes,
I
sir.
will say, I'm sorry, Rodney, do you have anything else before we start? Fact or fiction, sir?
No, I just want to say, I know oftentimes, man, Ronnie, we look at the X's and O's and strategies and things like that, and we look to see improvement. But I will say, man, just from a mental and maturity perspective, I saw a quantum leap in your fighter and Jermall. And I think
Right.
that speaks volumes with, your tutelage, your leadership, him having a certain level of trust and, comfort knowing that you have his best interest. And for the first time, and I've been watching this guy for a long time, man, this is probably the most I've seen Jermall Charlo in his career, not only inside the ring, but outside the ring. And I like that version of him, and hopefully we'll continue to get more of that, sir.
Absolutely, we will.
And there it is. He's got the best mentor in boxing, Coach Ronnie Shields.
Yes, sir. H-Town.
And there it is. There it is. I tell you what, Floyd.
Hey,
the honors.
we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for Fact or Fiction.
And there it is. Thank you, Floyd. Thank you very much. I tell you what, we're gonna start all the way at number 9. Rodney, please, the honors.
Number 9, Jermall Charlo will elect to defend his WBC middleweight title in 2024 because he won't be able to get the big fights he wants at 168.
Fact or fiction, sir?
I'm gonna go.
Well, let's
go
let
ahead,
Ronnie. Come on now.
I'm gonna say fiction.
Oh,
wow!
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't, the difference is here's the thing, right? It depends. It depends on what fights that's available to him at 168.
Mm-hmm.
If the Canelo fight comes up, definitely, he would jump to that.
Ronnie, let me ask you something real quick. And again, do you think by the end of the year, you guys will have a little bit more certainty on far as Jermall's future at 168, as a lot of political things begin to shake out, and just to kind of have more of a clearer forecast? Do you think you can kind of maybe speak a little bit more confidently as far as what his intentions are at 168?
I think that's going to have to come at the first of the year.
Okay.
Because again, we all know about Showtime's last fight on December 16th.
Okay.
So I think we'll find out more after that's over with.
Fair enough.
And there it is, guys. And before we move forward with Fact or Fiction and the rest of the fight card that just happened this Saturday, let's say hello to our dear friends in the chat, our extended Warwick Boxing family. Some F-bombs here. I said F. Benavidez. Morrell, better than that. He's been staying, and once again, this has everything to do with our headline for the show. Real Boxing with Ronnie Shields, Benavidez versus Morrell Jr. in 2024. And Adolfo Horta, welcome to the show, sir. He says, I said F. Benavidez. Morrell, better than that. He's been staying out. The Benavidez, specifically Jose Sr., is repugnant. Wow. Tell us how you really feel, sir. He says, salute, Joseph. The monster keeps ignoring Morrell. Kind of Canelo. He's a joke. And he goes, Mr. Shields, your excellence. Saludos. Now it's hilarious.
Seems like we lost.
Yeah, we lost.
Mr.
Well, can you guys hear me?
Back.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Very good. Now, I spoke to you at the press conference, and you stated that, Jose Sr. actually shook your hand and smiled at you. And you had something very, very hilarious to me. You said, you know what? I shook his hand. I was cordial, but I still wanted to smack the shit out of him. Oh, Jermall, can you tell us about that? What that was like after all the trash he had been talking to that? Oh, Morrell's not ready. Can you just talk us through that? Did you guys ever address that at all?
Man, it was so funny that in LA after at the press conference, and when Jermall and Jose Jr. did the face off, and then he came up and he shook my hand, and I was like, oh, that surprised me, man. I was really weary, but I was really focused because he shook my hand in one hand, but I was watching his other hand. I really was. I said, because if he tried to do something, I said, man, I'm gonna slap the hell out of you. But it was like, okay, he was really cordial. So I said, okay, that's good. And then when we got to Vegas, right? I last Thursday, I was at the elevators. I was waiting on Jermall to come down so we can go train. And I saw him again, and he came up to me, and we had a really, really nice conversation. And he told me some things, man, that I know why he says some things that he says, and it was really, he really seemed like a nice guy. And he told me some things that I don't want to repeat it, but he told me some things, and and I understand now why he says some things, why he says some things, and why his sons are the same way, and I really I understand it now. But and it was I respect that, I do. I really have respect for you.
Doesn't mean you like it.
Yeah, I don't even have to like it, but but I respect it. I do.
Oh, geez. Well, we love you, Coach Ronnie, and we know that took some great maturity and, restraint on your part, brother. But I tell you what, we want to say hello to our brother, Big Luke from New York.
Big Luke.
Coach.
Big Luke.
And he says, elite is an understatement. Yes, it is, sir. He is one of the best, greatest of all time, future Hall of Famer, Coach Ronnie Shields.
Coach
And
Shields.
Adolfo Horta once again chimes in and says, look, Melikuziev, Shishkin, another route Morrell needs to fight way more. Well, Coach Ronnie, that's easier said than done now, isn't it? Look, either these guys want too much money to step in the ring with Osvari, or they just say no. Now, how difficult has it been to find a viable opponent for Dave Morrell Jr.?
It's not easy. It's really not easy. And there's a lot of good fighters out there, but this is the boxing business. People always call people out, but then when it's time to say, okay, here's the contract, then they want to overprice themselves. So that's something that this is not the first thing that's ever happened in the sport. It's something that's old, and you have to live with it. Live with it and keep on moving.
And there it is. We want to welcome to the show our brother G Funky Boxing. Greetings, gentlemen. Congratulations to Coach Ronnie on a big weekend. I tell you what, guys, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to our brother G Funky Boxing, one of the best shows on YouTube concerning boxing today. And I tell you what, we want to thank him for always being a part of the team. And I tell you what, we love you, G. I tell you what, blessings to you, my friend. God bless you, brother. And we love you, man. We love you. And we're with you every step of the way, my friend. SSP Diving, welcome to the show, sir. And he says, yeah, love me some white magic. Great job, Coach. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Tyco TV, welcome to the show, sir. Coach Ronnie. Yes, sir. It's Ronnie time. Tuesday night. Low Clarity, welcome to the show, sir. Thank you for supporting the coach on this evening. Ring Talk 101, thank you for supporting the coach on this fine Tuesday night. He said, yeah, Charlo did decent in there after all that time off. Hopefully he can keep all the problems outside of the ring and behind him, stay completely focused on his career going forward. Coach, is that the plan?
No doubt.
Yep. And he says this. Yeah, I think it would have been a much better fight with him and Canelo instead of his brother. I think we can all assume that. Now, can't we, Ronnie?
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, Ring Talk 101. We appreciate it, brother. And my brother Charles. I'm curious if Ronnie and Jose Sr. exchange any words. Well, we just got the answer to that. Thank you for tuning in, my brother Charles. I tell you what, we're going to get to Oswati in just a second. Hold on. We want to welcome our brother, DJ MFB, with the big super chat. Thank you, sir. The Real Boxing Channel, or Week Boxing. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate it, my friend. Thank you for being here and always supporting the coach. And also my brother, Sly Tendencies. Respect to the man, Coach Ronnie. Yes, sir. And you're going to see more of him this weekend on DAZN. And also, thank you for the super sticker, brother. And once again, we always appreciate your support of Coach Ronnie. And Sly, we love your comments on this show. He said, Joseph Aaron, the man with the plan, the Tower of Power 2, too sweet to be sour. Oh, shit. Well, I tell you what, brother, I just wish you were in South Texas so you could accompany us at this big event that's going down on December 9th. Yes, guys, unfortunately, I won't be able to see Haney Prograis live, and you can hear the sadness in my voice. Instead, I'm going to be calling the action from the social spot downtown San Antonio. I'm going to be calling the action for red hot prospects signed to Luis DeCubas Sr. That's Ricky Nunez Jr., knockout artist from San Antonio, and you will see him later on next year on Amazon Prime. Oh, did I say that?
Oh,
did I say that, Coach Ronnie? Yeah. So here it is, guys. Our next fact or fiction. My apologies, guys. My phone blowing up as soon as I said that. Chihuahua. Yeah. So here it is, Coach. Number 10. Rodney, the honors, please, sir.
PBC will announce its 2024 deal with Amazon Prime in 2 weeks and will feature dates for both prospects and championship fights.
Fact
or fiction, Coach?
I hope it's a fact.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to anybody yet about this. I think they're waiting again. It's been a lot of people saying different things about different networks, such as Amazon Prime and with DAZN and with others.
Hey,
go ahead.
Real quick, Ronnie, let me ask you something. I know you have a lot of fighters you train. You know a lot of the fighters with PBC. What's their mindset with things being in limbo when they don't know where or what network or how things are going to work out? Have you seen like a change or maybe like some concern or anything like that, or they just know ultimately things are going to get hashed out and worked out?
But when you got a guy like Al Heyman that that's been doing this now for a little while, the guy knows everybody in the world, and nobody seems to be worried. Nobody has spoken about, hey, what we're going to do next. Nobody has ever come to me and said anything. So, I think everybody just focus on fighting, and a lot of the guys have managers that they consult with. So, but look, I think everything's going to work out.
Good stuff. Cool.
Well, I will say this, Coach. Can you talk about and can you verify what I've been told as well, that, the Amazon Prime deal will be without PBC's two biggest names, and that's Tank Davis and Canelo Alvarez, which are still obligated to fight on Showtime, Paramount Plus, CBS.
Well, that's rumors about that, and and actually, I heard that from non-boxing people. So
Mm.
how they get this, I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
But again, I heard that Showtime is they're obligated to do 4 pay-per-views next year. So
But there
Yeah.
is a possibility, though. There is a possibility, right? Of, well, him taking them to Amazon Prime if that helps sweeten the deal. Correct?
I would assume so. I mean, if you got big names like that, I mean, that'll definitely sweeten the deal. You know, so I would have to say, if it was me, if I'm on with Amazon Prime, I want everybody. I don't want just just I mean, they want all the best fighters, of course, but you want all the best fighters. You don't just want
Mhm.
Right. Hey,
some of the best fighters.
hey, Ronnie. Real quick. We know that again. You got guys like Canelo, Tank Davis, are household names. Uh, I'm really curious, excited, hopeful because we know that a huge part about this sport is being able to cultivate and develop talent and give them a platform to showcase their skills. Uh, does this give you optimism? And do you think that the Amazon platform, now again, the same platform that seems to be excelling with the NFL on Thursday
Mm.
night, doing some good
170
things?
million
Yeah, and
members in the U.S. market alone.
yeah, and I think that they're starting maybe even start putting some Friday, next year they're going to even add some Friday dates to the NFL as well. So does this guy give you optimism that like, look, man, this really may be a blessing in disguise the way things are kind of unfolding here?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to look at a lot of the other smaller uh, television uh, channels that's doing things also. If you look at guys like Pro Box, they
Right.
doing
Mhm.
on Wednesday. They doing Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
I have a kid just for Justin Porter just fought last
Mm.
week on Pro Box last Wednesday. So, and you do have people that the top rank are doing Friday nights
Yeah.
also. So yeah, I mean look, and you have a lot of fights that's have to do it on Tuesday. Remember back in the day, the
Oh man.
USA used
There
to be
you
the Tuesday
go.
night fights.
Man
You
had to
know,
have it. Had to
yeah.
have it.
So,
Yeah.
and I think that's good. As good as far as as the television for the television, I think it's good. I don't know how good it's going to be for people to go to fights on Tuesday nights when you either have school or work. You know, so I don't know how good that's going to be. But I guess it all depends on what city you put it in.
Right.
You know, and but look, it's no, from the very beginning, I think we were so used to boxing on Fridays and Saturdays. We was always used to that. And now I think we have to get used to, it through the middle of the week also. And I think that's
Mhm.
going to be really good. That's
Yep.
going to be good because, people love to see sports on not just the weekends.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
And you know what? That's as old as boxing itself. Now, back in the day, when this is a history lesson, folks. Back in the day, when the bars and restaurants were the ticket brokers, because back then, I'm talking about the 50s and 60s, we didn't have Ticketmaster.
No,
Nope. So the bars and the restaurants, the hospitality industry
Yeah.
used to be the ticket brokers for
yeah,
all of the promoters and their fighters.
yeah,
And you don't dare bite the hand that feeds you. And
no,
also, back in the day when TV was just coming up and Uncle Milton Berle was the biggest show on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't dare compete with Uncle Milty. So it was standard, guys, to feature bouts on Monday and Tuesday nights,
yeah,
which were the off days for the
right,
hospitality industry. And once again, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. And so this was a staple for the longest time in boxing. And guys, do you guys remember USA Tuesday Night Fights?
Man,
How
say
awesome was that?
title eliminators. Okay.
Let's get
Man.
that back, guys.
Good
Tuesday
old
nights
days.
are ripe for the picking. Let's do it.
Good old
I
days.
tell you what, we still have some more of our extended family to welcome to the show. And he goes, Sly says, yeah, shout out to Rod, by the way. Yep, he's doing a great job, isn't he?
Yes,
Big
sir.
Luke,
I
he
appreciate
also
you.
says, Uncle Al fears. Bernie Campbell. Oh, geez, he has to bring that up. Guys, if you didn't know, Al Heyman used to do a lot of interviews back in the day, right? And this was the last one he ever did. Because, and I remember this vividly, this was on Max Boxing Blog Talk, right? Where they were interviewing Al Heyman. Bernie Campbell from New York. Yeah. He calls in and starts roasting Al Heyman. And he's like, what's going on here? Do you guys screen these calls or whatever? And he just hung up and vowed never to do another boxing interview with any of the boxing periodicals ever again. And he hasn't to this point, has he, Ronnie?
Nope, not at all.
Yep. Thank you, Bernie. You big Prick. Oh, and Larry goes, can Ronnie specify the rumors? And not a rumor, but we'll have him do it. Can Ronnie specify, and welcome W.A.W to the show. We love your insight. And he says, can Ronnie specify the rumors of Dave Morrell potentially fighting Seta Agbeko on the 16th?
That's definitely going to happen.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And that's it.
It's going to be a good December, man. It's going to be a good December. Christmas going to come early.
Yeah. And there it is, guys. We've got a lot to talk about in terms of Dave Morrell. And look, we're already 40 minutes in, and we still have only done 2 Fact or Fiction.
Oh, yeah.
So we got a lot of catching up to do, Ronnie. Sly says also, I heard the WBC announce it. If Wilder and Joshua win the respective matches, they'll both fight each other for WBC title eliminator. Yes, sir. That's correct. Coach, what are your thoughts? Because we haven't had a chance to talk to you about the Day of Reckoning that's planned 2 days before Christmas on Bowl, NCAA football bowl Saturday. Oh, boy. First of all, do you see them both getting out their respective fights? Anthony Joshua versus Otto Wallin. Ooh, I don't know what the hell they were thinking. And then, well, Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker. First of all, do you see them both getting past their respective opponents on the 23rd?
I do. I see both guys winning. I really do. I think that I think both guys are in good fights, but I think both guys will win. Wilder and Joshua.
And who do you see actually paying for the licensing fee on 2 days before Christmas when everyone's out shopping? And then you're going to see 7 different bowl games on both ABC and ESPN. Do you see anyone paying for the licensing fee in the American market, distributing this so we can actually pay for it?
No, but I don't think the Saudis care.
Oh, well, you know what, guys? In this case, we're going to have no choice but to illegally stream this then from the UK. Damn. Well, let's just hope that that DAZN picks it up, but I don't think they're going to, especially after Haney versus Prograis. Well, it doesn't sell that well on the 9th. Oh, boy. We'll get to that in a little bit, but that was Fact or Fiction. Let's shift gears, shall we? Hold on. I don't think we're finished actually saying hello to everybody. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Double L says, I also thought Coach Ronnie did a fine job getting Jermall ready after a long layoff. Yes, he did, because that's what he does, guys. Juice, welcome to the show, sir. Salute to the legendary Coach Ron Shields in War Week. Thank you, my friend. I can always count on Coach to give us a great show. Yes, sir. We are here, as well as Coach Ronnie, for you guys. We're here for you. And Oh, where's the burn? Yeah. Sly says DAZN secured the rights. Yes, they did in the UK. In the UK. Not in America. Not in America, sir. Oh, come on, DAZN. Keeping our fingers crossed. Speaking of which, well, let's get back to this Saturday night's fight action. Coach Ronnie. Well, let's talk about this. We'll do it with Fact or Fiction, shall we? Let's get moving along because, we still have a lot to discuss. Hold on. Let's see. Let me find it. We're going to be jumping around, guys. Shoot. Where? Okay, I think here it is. Number 3. Rodney, please, the honors.
The winner of Haney Prograis will avoid the current IBF 140-pound champ, Jermall Charlo, like the plague.
Fact or Fiction, Coach Ronnie?
Fiction.
Oh!
Woo!
Woo! ¿Por qué, señor?
I saw that fight in the dressing room, right? And, man, the Russian came out strong.
Yep.
I was like, oh, my God, look at this. But then Mateus, man, he just throw punches. He fought the right fight. They had a great game plan. But I think the winner of Haney and Regis, I think they go welcome that kind of fight.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's music to our ears. That's music to our ears because we want to see the best fight the best. Come on.
Right.
Let's see it. 2024. Come on, baby. Let's do now, Coach. Now, I'll tell you what, I felt bad for Ergashev, right? I felt really bad for Ergashev because as soon as Jermall Charlo found that range and worked his way in the inside, Ergashev did not have an answer for that. Coach?
No, he didn't. Absolutely.
Is that becoming a lost art in teaching that skill set on the inside in the American market?
I don't think it's lost. I just think that, some guys, that's something that you have to prepare for. If you watch Mateus fight in any of his fights, you see that.
Right.
So you have to be ready for that. That's you can't let that be something that you didn't work on. Obviously they probably thought, we're gonna hit him and that's gonna be the end of it. You can't take that. You can't take lightly. What this guy brings to the table.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I tell you what. Congratulations to Coach Panda. Well, and in my opinion, aside from Coach Ronnie, aside from Bomac, he's definitely a top candidate for Trainer of the Year honors. Well, that guy's done a fantastic job with Williams and Peta, Eduardo Hernandez, and Jermall Charlo, training in the high altitude of Mexico. Training in that high altitude, Coach. Well, you've got an engine that doesn't stop now, doesn't it?
That's true.
Oof,
That's
ching
true.
out. I'll tell you what. Do you see anyone beating Jermall Charlo at 40?
It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. It's going to take great game planning, and it's going to just take the mentality of the fighter to be able to withstand what this kid brings to the table.
Well, I tell you what, and we're going to get to the quitting question that all of these fans seem to bring it up when we talk about the main event of the evening. And, Coach, we know you didn't get to see it because you had a plane to catch, but something happened in the main event. David Benavidez became the first man to knock out Boo Boo Andrade. And I know you're a little saddened because you wanted Jermall to be the first guy to have those honors. We know that. That's going back years, right? But, were you surprised that Benavidez, seemed to make, short work of him, stopping him within 6? Well, basically, Boo Boo Andrade threw in the towel after 6. One, when you heard about what happened and saw the highlights, were you surprised? And did you think that was a good choice to throw in the towel after taking a bludgeoning in rounds 4, 5, and 6?
Oh, it's always, you have to look out for the fighter's best interest, and when trainers do that, look, the fighter get to live to fight another day.
Yep.
It's not the end of the world. I
Right.
think people get it mixed up when you lose. They make you think that you can't come back from
Right.
from
Mm.
from that. It's not that at all.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, these guys are human beings,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
and when you care about these fighters, you have to look out for their best interest.
Yeah. I
That's
also
it.
think we sometimes the fans, man, that we personalize things so much to where we
Yep.
want to see a fighter that we necessarily don't like or we don't really appreciate his style. We want to just see they just would love to see him just laid out on the
Yep.
ring, and it'll give them a sense of gratification. But man, if
Yep.
you watch the fight, man, the referee was showing concern for Andrade. He kept saying, "Look,
Yep.
I'm not gonna let you keep taking this kind of punishment."
That's
Yeah.
it.
And they gave it a try. And if you just speak with Andrade's trainer, he said, Demetrius told me after round 5, I can't keep him off of me. I can't.
Oof.
This guy is strong. I'm doing everything I can. And man, I can't keep him off of me. So, man, I don't buy that he quit. I think, like you say, man, there's no need to continue to take the kind of punishment where you end up ending your career or, man,
Yep.
going to the hospital. And I don't understand why
Absolutely.
fans are so, they have that blood type of thirst to see that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, man, Demetrius wasn't going to win that fight, whether it was a 5
Oh.
rounds, 8 rounds. He was getting hurt, and it was no end in sight. And I think the
Right.
referee in his corner, they did the right thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
And that's that's the thing. We as trainers, we and a referee also, that's our job is to protect the fighter.
Yeah,
That's what we have to do. That protects the sport, you know, because if you know if we lose fighters, and we've lost fighters in the ring before, so it's not the first time that we've lost fighters in the sport, and it is never good.
no.
It's never good because number one, it turns people off from the sport because now we become a barbaric sport, you
right.
Yep.
know,
Yeah,
and so we don't need that, and
great.
I think the corner did a good job in stopping the fight, and because it's no sense, everybody don't have a great night every night being in that ring, understand something. Training for a fight, you train maybe 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks for a fight.
Yep.
You know, with the sparring that you're getting, your
Ah.
brain is getting beat up.
Yep.
Your body is getting beat up also. So, you know, and yeah, we choose this living. So we know we go through a lot, but it doesn't make sense for anyone to get killed behind it,
Absolutely.
or to
Oh
die
boy, I
from it.
tell you what, that's very well said, Coach
Yes,
Ronnie.
sir.
Guys, we're once again, it's always an honor to feature Coach Ronnie here on Warweek Boxing every single Tuesday night. We always learn something, and I tell you what. So, Coach Ronnie, in the post-fight presser, well, Samson Lukowitz, our brother, had a lot to say about said. I thought this was, this is amazing. He goes, you know what, Canelo, enough's enough. We know you're working with Jaime Munguia. We know it. Enough's enough. You've got to do the fans' bidding. Either relinquish that damn WBC title, or you know what? You're going to have to face the music and fight the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. So, here it is. Oh, boy. Here it is. Here it is. No, wrong one. Number 1, Rodney, fact or fiction?
Despite scoring a resounding KO victory over Boo Andrade, Canelo will not fight Benavidez in 2024.
Fact or fiction, coach?
I'm gonna say fiction.
Yes.
Wow.
Woo!
You know,
Woo!
I think we're at a point now. I really think we're at a point now where he has to fight Benavidez.
Man,
You know,
I've
like
been saying that.
he has to.
I've
You
been
know,
saying
I think his legacy,
it.
you know, this is going to decide his legacy
There you
in the
go.
sport of boxing. It really
Yep.
is.
That's what
You
I.
know, he has
Rodney,
to
hold
fight.
on, because I'm gonna make a soundbite out of this. I'm sorry. Repeat that last thing you just said, Coach Ronnie, please.
He has to fight Benavidez. His legacy depends on it.
There you go.
It depends on this
Woo!
fight. It does. You know,
Yes.
he can't say that he fought the best when he didn't fight Benavidez. I mean, just no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Benavidez has been around. He's been WBC champion, twice?
Twice.
Twice, and lost it, not because of a fight, but because of some stupidity stuff,
Yep.
And, but now he's gotten himself together. And, look, Benavidez has always fought whoever they put him in the ring with. He's
Yep.
always asked for the best guys out there. And,
Well,
and
except
he
for
just
one,
proved,
Coach.
well, yeah, except for one.
Yeah.
But he was before Morrell. So before David came on the scene, before Morrell came on the scene, he fought everybody that they put him in the ring with. And then he was always asking for the best guys. So, I agree that, and I think the WBC is going to mandate that that Canelo fight Benavidez next, or be stripped of the title.
Right.
I think they have to. But look, man. I know somebody asked me the other day, why is Canelo saying he don't want to fight another Mexican? To me, I don't know why he would say that, because, it seemed to me that if you care about your people, you want them to make money.
That's it.
And you are the biggest thing in boxing right now. So, he can make a lot of money with you. So, I think he should say, yeah, let's do this with
Let's do it. Right.
Benavidez. And I think
Well,
I think the television is going to really put a that they gonna have to go to him and say, look, this is the fight that people want. So you got to do it. And the WBC have to put a strap on him and say, look, man, if you don't fight it, you got to give up that title.
Right.
Amazon Prime. Come
Yep.
on, Amazon Prime.
Right.
I tell you
Man.
what, we're moving on, Rodney, real quick. We're running out of time. We're already
Okay,
an hour in.
let's
So
move.
I tell you what,
move
number
on.
2, Rodney.
Canelo would still defeat David Benavidez if they fought in 2024.
Fact or fiction, Coach?
I'm gonna say fiction.
Oh,
But let me tell you why, though. Let me tell you why, right? I think it's a great fight. I mean, I really do think it's a great fight. And people are looking at the Dimitri Bivol fight and saying, Canelo, he can be here. Yes, he can be here. But you got to understand that there's a different style between Benavidez and Bivol, right? Benavidez is going to be right in your face. And Canelo's not going to have to look for him. But, this is a two-part thing for me, because I really think Benavidez can win this fight. I really and truly believe that.
Likewise.
And my money would definitely go on Benavidez.
Likewise.
Woo! But there's a caveat there, isn't there, Ronnie?
Yes.
Yeah.
If Canelo, he can crack. He cracks harder than most guys at 168 pounds. And if he catch him and catch him good, he can knock him out. So, it's an up and a half fight for me. Really, really, truly is.
Well, I tell you what, let's move on to number 4, Rodney.
David Morrell Jr. would stop David Benavidez if they were to square off in 2024.
Fact or fiction, Coach?
I think that's a fact. I believe in my guy. I,
Yeah.
I know what my guy can do. I know my guy can punch. Somebody asked me about this fight the other day, and I told him I don't think this fight would ever happen at 168. I think this
Mm.
fight would definitely happen when these guys get up to 175.
I agree. Yeah. Hey,
Boom.
real quick, Ronnie, because we know we're trying to stay on time, but I'm gonna ask you something, man. Out of all the, I mean, man, you've been around the sport a long time. What makes David Morrell Jr. so unique, man? Where he just seems to where when he gets inside the ring, he's just about his business, and he's not playing with you, and he's not taking no prisoners, man. Is he like that in sparring? Is that just his chemical makeup, or is that when the lights come on, man, he just turns into that type of fighter?
Yeah, when the lights comes on, he just turns to that kind of fighter. Let me tell you,
Mm.
he's so different in the gym. In the gym, man, he's dancing, he's singing, he's
Yep.
having a great time. This guy, he loves what he does. You know, this guy, I tell people, he's the second coming of Pernell Whitaker.
Wow.
Pernell Whitaker was the
Oh.
exact same way.
Oh.
I'm telling you, man, Pernell used to clown in the gym, and David does a lot. He dances in the ring when he's sparring. He's just having a good time. But when that bell ring on
He's
fight
about
night,
their business.
that's right. He's about his business.
There you go.
Woo! I tell you what. Hey, Benavidez. Hey, man, if Canelo doesn't want to fight you, what else are you going to do? Would you rather take on Dimitri Bivol? Would you rather pick your poison? Yeah, coach. Now, he mentioned moving up to 75 to fight Dimitri Bivol for his WBA strap if Canelo didn't want that fight, and never once did he mention David Morrell Jr. But do you see him having an easy time with Dimitri Bivol at 75?
No, absolutely not. Look,
Mm.
man, Beaver is the real deal, man. He is just the real deal. But with Benavidez style, Benavidez can give you trouble. You know, you know. But if you don't have that power to hurt him, then he's going to run all over you.
Well,
That's
real
it.
quick, in the post-fight conference, they interviewed Benavidez, and he said, "I sparred with Bivol, and he said he felt very confident if he was to face him in the ring. So obviously, maybe he sees something or he knows something that we don't know. But
Right.
nevertheless, though, I think, man, if once Benavidez and Morrell go to 175, that's going to be a hot division in the very
Definitely.
near future.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I tell you what, guys. I tell you what, I love these responses from Coach. It's just amazing stuff. But guys, keep in mind, this is a lot to take in and a lot to anticipate for 2024, guys. The new year is going to be a great one. It's going to be a great one, guys. Number 5, Rodney, please, sir.
Benavidez versus Andrade only attracted 150K pay-per-view purchases. Fact or
Wow.
fiction?
That could be a fact, man.
Oh,
Ah, ah,
boo. So
ah.
now you guys are wondering why you may get Jaime Munguia in May. Brother, put up or
Yeah,
shut up.
that's
And you know,
it,
it's
man.
always the guys who illegally stream this stuff that are the most outspoken. Oh, we never get the best to fight the best. You know what? And you wonder why.
Yep.
Man, I'm
It
sorry,
costs
Ronnie,
money.
your thoughts, sir.
No, I mean, look, it costs
Yeah.
money. It costs money to get the best, to fight the best. And if you steal it, then you're taking away from the best fighting the best. Simple as that.
That's it. That's it. I'll tell you what, let's move on. We're running out of time with the coach. Oh, number 6. Canelo versus Jaime. Oh, I'm sorry, Rodney. Go ahead, sir. My apologies.
Canelo versus Jaime Munguia will attract over 750K purchases on the strength of the style matchup, as well as the bad blood between Oscar and Canelo Alvarez.
Fact or fiction, Coach?
I tell you right now, that fight is not going to ever happen. Not within the next 3 fights or 2 fights,
Wow.
because Munguia is not a PBC fighter, so that's not going to happen. Simple as that.
Let me real quick, Ronnie. I want to ask you something about Jaime Munguia.
Yep.
Just from you being around the sport, what I mean, as far as would you put him as a Class A fighter, Class B, B minus, C? I've watched him in person fight. I watched his fights as of recently, and I just haven't seen the improvement, man. I haven't seen anything to where I would say, like, man, he has elite power. He has elite defense. He has, even from a marketability, though. So I just want to get your opinion on Munguia before we move on.
I would think he's a B fighter. I really would.
Boom!
Look, he can fight.
Okay.
It's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. He can really fight. But I don't see him beat any of the elite fighters right now.
Okay.
He's still a young fighter. So to put him in the list on a list with Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez, David Morrell, I don't see that.
Gotcha.
I don't see that.
Well, guys, and once again, Ronnie, this is where Amazon Prime comes into play. Because according to the Showtime deal with PBC, right, I've been told from, people who are going to remain nameless from Golden Boy, right? They've stated to me, yep, it's true. Ed Reynoso reached out to us, and they've offered Jaime Munguia $6 million to step in the ring with him on Cinco de Mayo weekend. And we asked him, hey, well, doesn't Showtime have a say? And CBS, don't they have a say in what opponent we choose? And he said no. That was one of the stipulations in the contract, that we can fight anyone we want. And they said, you know what? That's good enough for us. But Amazon Prime, should Al Heyman elect to, shop? Now let's just be frank, guys. Canelo versus David Benavidez is currently the biggest fight that you can make in the U.S. market outside of Canelo versus Crawford, correct?
Agreed.
Okay. Guys, do you think Amazon Prime would be interested in distributing that fight?
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt.
Well, guys, something tells me that this is not set in stone. Come on, 7-Eleven. Woo! I tell you what, guys, the plot thickens. Just buckle up. Yep. Buckle up. So if you had to guess, Coach, and once again, we've already heard what you had to say about it. Profound words indeed. But let's just hear that again. And if you had to guess, which fight do fans get treated to on Cinco de Mayo weekend with Canelo Alvarez versus whom?
I really truly believe it's going to be Benavidez. I really truly believe that. I think that, I really think that people want to see that. And, now that Benavidez, he did something to Demetrius Andre that nobody thought he could do.
Yep.
And, he's already proved himself in a lot of people's eyes, including mine. But I just think that, now it's time, that they're going to have to force this fight. This fight has to happen. Simple as that.
Fingers crossed.
Woo! I'll second that, brother. I'm crossing my pinky toes too. Yeah, which is not easy, by the way. So let's move on. I tell you what, Coach, this has been amazing. Let's try to blow these through. Blow through these, by the way. We're already 70 minutes in. So let's do number 7. Rodney, please.
Ryan Garcia will score a sensational KO over Oscar Duarte this Saturday on regular subscriber DAZN.
Guys, subscribe. Do not steal. Subscribe
Subscribe
to DAZN. And you also get to see Well, you also get to see Floyd Schofield Jr. We'll get to him in a second, Coach. But fact or fiction, Coach?
Well, I'm gonna say fact because look, he has to have a sensational knockout.
Mm,
You know that the pressure is on him. You
mm.
know to not only score a sensational knockout. If he don't get the sensational knockout, he has to really look good. You know, to show that he's back. You know, I mean that's one thing that boxing fans they want to see. You know, they paying a lot of money to this kid. You know, they want to make sure he earns it.
Yep. Yep. I tell you what, but yeah, you've watched Oscar Duarte before at lightweight. And guys, most people don't realize this will be his first fight at 140 this Saturday night. Coach,
Both of them.
well, yes and no. Yes and no. Well, yeah, technically, yeah.
Yeah, technically.
But look, guys, the hand speed of Ryan, the knockout power, and the style. Once again, Duarte is a guy who comes right at you.
Yep.
Great counterpuncher.
Perfect.
Yeah, but yeah. That's tailor made, isn't it, Coach?
Oh, without a doubt.
And there it is, guys. And there it is. Now we want to welcome the boxing scholar to the program. Welcome to the show, sir. And I look forward to speaking with you as soon as the show's immediately following the show. Yeah, that was my best Pat Summerall voice. How do you like that? He says, what adjustments would coach have suggested to Boo Boo Andrade? Because he started off winning. Admittedly, I had Boo Boo Andrade up 3 rounds to nothing going into the 4th. Now, obviously, Coach Ronnie, he didn't watch the actual fight. He was on the way to the airport. But what adjustments would you have suggested to Boo Boo? And once again, he came out. I don't know if this was out of necessity, Coach, but he sat in the pocket and he was assertive, uncharacteristically assertive. Do you think this was attributed to all the rumors that have been floating around the business saying that, he just doesn't have the same legs he used to? Do you think that was out of necessity, first of all? And 2, what would you have done differently if you were, Coach Rozier?
Well, you know, here's the thing, right? Boo Boo is not known for any power. You know, he's known to, he can hit you and knock you down, but he don't finish fights, you know. And,
Yep.
you know, but he's known as a good boxer also. But everybody in the world knows that David Benavidez is a slow starter. So the first 3 rounds, you can do basically whatever you want to do. And this is why, you know, Boo Boo came out the way he did, you know, because he knew that Benavidez was a slow starter. But, you know, going in, you know, when you're training for a fight, you know, you have to look at everything, you know, and you have to know your guy, what your guy can handle and what he can't handle.
Yep.
You know, and after the 3rd round, though, you know, obviously I just saw the highlights. After the 3rd round, Benavidez just came on.
Yep.
And Boo Boo didn't really know what to do. And he didn't have no answers, you know, and that's, you know, that goes back to training. You know, I don't know what they was looking at when they were studying, you know, when they were studying Benavidez. But you got to know he comes on around the 4th round.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Ronnie, I want to just get your opinion here. When I watched the fight Saturday, you know, when you try to fight Benavidez at mid-range, with him being so tall, he gets such good leverage on his shots, man. Like, he really gets a chance to lean into his shots and put a lot of power. Do you think maybe, man, Andrade thought maybe he'll be safer in the inside and he can win the exchange, but, you know, by him not being able to hurt him, he really had nowhere to go. He couldn't stay on the outside. He couldn't stay in the inside. And it was just like, you know, it was nothing he could do. That was what I observed. Well, I want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. You know, he didn't have the power to stay in the inside.
Right.
And that's a problem when you don't have that power.
Right.
And, if you get hit on the outside, and start getting hit on the outside,
Man.
then all of a sudden the fight switches to the inside. You don't have nothing to keep him off.
Oh,
Exactly.
what a nightmare.
That's a nightmare. That is.
Oh, geez, poor Boo Boo. I tell you what, and guys, if you have never met or spoken to Boo Boo and his dad, like Boo Boo is a you couldn't meet a nicer, more jovial spirit in boxing. Like he's a genuinely good guy. And honestly, my heart went out to both he and his dad on that night. But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles now, isn't it?
Oh, no, without a doubt. That's it.
Yeah. Well, it's life in the big city. Oh boy. Next one, number 8. Rodney, please.
No network will be willing to pay the steep licensing fee of Crawford versus Spence 2 in 2024. Fact or fiction?
Ouch.
Man,
Ouch.
that could definitely be a fact.
I agree.
And the thing about it was, I think everybody was billing this fight as a 50-50 fight going in, and it didn't turn out that way.
Nope.
So nobody gonna want to put up that kind of money, and they don't know what they're getting. I mean, they're gonna have to really convince somebody, that this fight is gonna be worth it. And I think this might have to be one of those deals where, you don't get paid up front, you get paid after the fight. You wait to see what the fight does before, you start splitting percentages.
Coach, do you think Crawford would be willing to do that at this stage of his career?
Hell no.
Yeah. So what do you think are the chances of us seeing the, contractually obligated rematch in 2024?
I think it's going to be slim and none, to tell you the truth.
Yep. There it is.
I really do.
Hey, Don King's currently looking for a matchup.
Yeah, I know. He's always looking for a fight.
Boy, I tell you what, that might be their only option because last time I checked, Crawford put BLK Prime out of business. And there it is. And there it is. I tell you what, that's it. We're at the end of the road. So Sly Tendencies, final comment says, I mean this in the least disrespectful way possible, but is Boo Boo fool's gold, Coach Ronnie? This was the best opponent he's ever fought, in my opinion, and he fell short. Was it hype, or is Benavidez that good? Or let's just face it, one thing that he didn't mention right there, Boo Boo is now, 35, 36?
Yep.
Coach, what is it? What did we see on Saturday night?
I just think you saw, a great Benavidez. I mean, I really, truly do. But, with Boo Boo, man, this guy has been clamoring for fights for years and wasn't able to get him because of his style. And, finally, he fought somebody that didn't care about his style. And, but it's hard to say, man. I don't want to write Boo Boo off because Boo Boo is a really good fighter. But I just think sometimes you run into something that you didn't expect to see. And I think in Boo Boo's case, that's what happened.
And there it is. And there it is. Guys, we've reached the end of the line. It's Ronnie, you survived this episode of Fact or Fiction. Once again, I tell you what, Rodney, do you have any final questions for Coach Ronnie before we bid him a very good evening?
No, I just, again, man, want to congratulate you once again on everything that you accomplished Saturday night. Both fighters victorious. And just like you, man, we'll be staying tuned for the month of December. Hopefully we'll get some breaking news and we'll get a better idea of where your fighters and a host of other fighters will be placed in 2024, sir.
There it is. Coach Ronnie, your parting shots for our listening audience this evening, sir.
Well, as always, man, you can always follow me on Instagram as official Ronnie Shields.
And there it is. And there it is, guys. On behalf of the incomparable Rodney Green, on behalf of the future Hall of Famer, elite level trainer Ronnie Shields, I'm Joseph Aaron. You've been listening to War Week Boxing. Have a great evening, everybody.
Rashawn Holdings presents Real Boxing with elite level trainer Ronnie Shields.